I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
That's Booby.
Oh, Vita, Chip, Culpy. What happened to Vita? I mean, I'm all confused. This guy, Rocky.
I don't know. Maybe he's taking a nap.
Hey, I specifically put that mystery one beside me because I wanted it.
It's really good.
Yeah, well, luckily there's another one here.
Reminds me of my childhood.
What is mystery? But I didn't want this one because it was crunched. What is the flavor? Do you even know? What's your guess?
Where are you getting mystery? It says white.
White mystery. You ripped it off, babe.
Oh. Who knows?
Is it like lemonade?
This would be really good with a Pepsi. Think about it.
No, I don't like mixing candy and Pepsi.
I love it.
I like mixing something salty with Pepsi, like pizza.
Okay.
It tastes like an addict.
Who's this, Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus picked this one.
Shout out to the big homie. If you want to see, hopefully we can get this published before freaking 12 a.m. We suck as human beings, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
well, we have excuses, babe.
I don't care.
I know, you don't take excuses. I do.
I don't live in that world.
I let myself off the hook. I'm like, well, I'm pregnant. I was sick yesterday.
I don't live in that world.
I do.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Yeah, well.
All right. We're going to have a fireside later on, so probably as this is being published, people are
That's what I was going to say.
going to see us in the fireside. The Mighty Ride of the Firelord by the band Rhapsody of Fire. We've never done this band before.
No. Didn't we do something that had the word Rhapsody in it?
Sure. I'm sure we did.
Okay.
They're an Italian symphonic power metal band. All right, let's do it.
Okay. And go.
chains speak for its very last breath. Aqua love, it really doesn't know what now waits for it. Walls are raging, bleeding, mother still heads and lids are falling down. It's in me, the mystic messenger, bringer of revenge.
Black Angel, I call you King Chaos, with raging in the torment of my heart. I call the holy earthquake to end this bloody hell.
Walls are raging, bleeding, mother still heads and lids are falling down. It's in me, the mystic messenger, bringer of revenge.
While she comes, beloved
On the wing alone as I go, our hero found his way. All the demons dance correctly, search for him now, but in vain. They would pay for his dying man, for the symphony of pain. For I leave my gloves and then all my quiet ways. I call the Devil's fire. I call earth thunder roar. Raise your voice and ride on, babe. Raise your sword to the science, sing the epic symphony
That's power metal.
Okay. Musically, or what they were doing with the vocals?
It's kind of a combo of both. Power metal, like sometimes they're like super technical on guitar, and then the vocals are like, "Ah!" You know, like, and it's really epic stuff.
The vocals that are like that.
Huh?
Like the vocals that are like, where they kind of keep going like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know how to.
I just think in power metal, it's just like,
I call the thunder roar when they do that with their sing. Ooh, 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 ooh. What is that called?
I just think that's that guy's style. But power metal is usually like very, very high notes and very epic concepts and stuff like that. And
Musically, I loved it musically. It could be the soundtrack for a movie, but I don't like when the vocals do that.
It's a Lord of the Rings-ish type scenario in the, you know, big fantasy type thing.
Yeah.
14 songs on this record. This record must be like 2.5 hours long or something, unless this is the longest song.
Huge.
But like, they're super ambitious. This is probably a concept record. Remember I say all the time, this is probably a concept record. But I mean, he's making reference to certain people, so I don't know if this is based on a book or what.
I wish we had our stuff alphabetized because
Dawn of Victory.
I almost think somebody sent us this. I'm not sure. But yeah, I loved what it sounded like musically. Like oh man, some of it was really, really cool.
So I'm on dawnofvictory.com.
Mm-hmm.
The fate of mankind was changed. The spread of a virus. That can't be it. That can't be it. But
I don't know what you're trying to figure out.
Well, if Dawn of Victory is a book, or if it's just the concept record from this band.
Oh.
Dawn of Victory is the third studio album released from Rhapsody in 2000. Like previous albums, it centers on the story of Firelord and the Emerald Sword Saga. Okay, so the Emerald Sword Saga. There it is.
Okay.
The Emerald Sword Saga is a fantasy story spread out over 5 albums by the Italian
Whoa.
symphonic power metal band Rhapsody of Fire, written by Luca Trulli. Okay, so sometimes people have, there's this book, there's a series, a book called the Sword of Truth series.
Yeah.
I read like 3 or 4 of those books, and they were, I mean, really, really big books, big commitments, but you know, it took a while to get into them, but once you got into them, it was like, oh yeah, it was a very like, it got you, it grabbed you.
Yep.
So it's like one of those. So I was thinking that some other person wrote it, and maybe even Terry Goodkind, the guy that wrote the Sword of Truth series. I was thinking somebody else wrote it, and then they did a whole record based off of it. But it turns out that the story itself comes from the band itself.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Over 5 records.
Yeah. Yeah.
God almighty. Like,
So you don't know the whole story until they come out with the other records.
yeah, you don't know what's going to happen until the record comes out. There's another band that did that. Coheed and Cambria.
Oh, yeah?
The whole thing is like a story, and they wrote comic book series and everything on it. About it, yeah. Like the dude is insane. Like that level of that is like next level talent.
Yeah.
That is next level talent right there. To be able to go to that degree.
I think you could do it.
I could write stories for years. The problem is like putting it to music and making it not boring and stupid. And like
Raps? You don't think you could do
and
raps?
then making the songs standalone songs that can stand by themselves, while at the same time the songs have to blend
That's
in
pretty crazy.
with the other songs on the record. And then if you're gonna span it out by 5 records, then there's got to be some continuity and enough differentiation. Like that's no joke.
No.
That is no joke.
I could never do something like that.
Well, that's what I always say. You know, like when I watch something, I'm like, oh, I could do that. Like I watched Julian Edelman do a little cut route after 5 yards and whatever, and dodge him. Like I feel like I could do that. But when Aaron Rodgers throws a 60-yard Hail Mary and he lands it exactly where it needs to be on purpose, multiple times in a row,
That's something else right there.
this is that level of like artistic brilliance.
Yeah.
And then to do it in a genre like power metal, which I feel like power metal is the only genre where you could do a story like this. Because it's supposed to be epic and exaggerated. And you can say things like, "You thou fiend."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, which, you know, so, yeah, I mean, kudos to them. That's an extremely freaking difficult thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
So sonically, you
And
like...
keeping stuff, like you said, complex, you know?
Yeah, like the Bible.
Yeah.
44 authors?
I was watching, you know, so Zoe usually just watches those little, they're dumb, those dumb little shows that teenagers watch.
Yeah.
That girls will, you're dumb and you're this, you know what I mean? Like, there's always some pretty girl that's horrible to everybody, and, you know, like, there are those stories. So she's used to just watching those. Well, last night I had her watching Once with me. She's like, this storyline is so complex. I love this. She reminded me of you. I was laughing. I was like, yeah, I'm sure compared to the petty storylines of those other little things, like this one.
For sure.
But this storyline is obviously, it's not as complex as other things that we've seen.
Right.
So she's like, don't you think it's really like...
Sure.
There's a lot going on.
So
Musically, I loved what it sounded like. Vocally, I wasn't into the vocals. So you could cut all the vocals out and give me the...
There were segments of the music that I liked. I'm not a very big power metal fan.
Yeah.
I'm not a very big power metal fan. I think Iced Earth could probably be classified as power metal to some degree, but there's still enough regular, just metal, like regular thrashy type of Maiden Metallica style in them that there were segments of this song that I loved sonically. And then, you know, like the Braveheart stuff. There's like one segment of the song I was like, oh, this is like Braveheart. But I'm just not a fan of the of power metal as a whole. And it's weird because I thoroughly enjoyed Lord of the Rings. I thoroughly enjoyed the Terry Goodkind series, although the bad guy in the Terry Goodkind series was just, I think his name was Dark and Raw or something like that. He was just too evil for me. The thing about reading is that I feel like I'm ingesting more into my soul when I read something versus when I watch something. So when that character was just so bad, and then you're like reading it and you're ingesting it, and I was like,
it was just too much.
I've had enough. Yeah.
Why, you're so cute. He was that bad?
Yeah, he was bad, and then the way women were treated in the guy's universe was pretty terrible.
That's it for you.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. So, and they always, do things to make the guy look worse, so that when he falls,
gets killed,
you're like,
glad.
yes,
You're like, yeah, get him.
Yeah, but it took too long to get there.
I see.
Because I had this friend, she was loaning me the books, and she's like, "Oh, I know you hate him, but just keep watching." And I was like, "Okay."
But
and
you couldn't.
Like, book 4, more.
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
Remember we were watching that movie about that girl? Maybe it's like the girl with the dragon tattoo or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
It was like so too much.
Right.
That if I would have had to read through that, I couldn't.
Right. And over like 4 books.
It's too much. It's too much.
There's like 11 or 12 books in that series.
Yeah. No.
I was like, okay, all right, I'm good. So lyrically, so the bad guy's name is Akron, and he's evil, and he killed his little buddy there, Arwald. No, Arwald wasn't the guy that he killed, was it? Yeah, there you go.
He mutilated and dismembered him?
For Arwald, my dear friend. And then he raped and murdered this other girl, Erin. And so it's like, you're like ready to go and kill this guy. And then he's the protagonist who's singing is basically like an avenging angel type of thing, So it's like, he gets his sword and stuff, and the gods are behind him, and he's like, heads and limbs are falling down, crunch, and then he, I guess he's dead because the demons are desperately searching for him in vain. And then so it's a song about getting vengeance on this evil Firelord, basically, who's tormenting people in the realm.
Okay, so is the Firelord a demon?
Well, Akron. I mean, I don't know if he'd be considered a demon in that world, but he's a very powerful guy, and he's evil. So he's a demon. He's an obvious demon. It's the whole. So
when it was saying mutilated or dismembered, they're saying that's what they wanted to do to him, the bad guy.
Where?
Right here.
Your heart will burn in flames, mutilated or dismembered.
The soon will rise to your brain.
I thought that was a little bit out of place.
So.
Felt like that was a little bit out of place.
Zombie apocalypse.
Well, yeah, it's like thou fiend, and eat your heart, maybe.
Yeah, but the brain. It was the brain that.
Why would you eat his brain? Like, eat his heart.
Yes.
We will eat your heart.
Eat your brain out. Yeah, it is weird.
Your medulla oblongata. That'll show you, Mr. Akron. You meanie. Yeah, I felt like that was a little bit out of place, but okay, let's go. Let's keep going.
Okay, I see. I didn't understand. I see what's happening.
See, this is the stuff that, like, the fantasy genre. This is I call the rage of my dead. I call the black angel's tears. I call Thoros' fire. I call the thunder roars. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
yeah.
So, it's a typical fantasy story.
Okay,
bad guy, all that good jazz.
They're searching for him because they got the guy?
Yeah, they're trying to kill this dude.
Did they kill him?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're looking for him in vain and stuff like that. I mean,
it sounds like they did.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 songs left.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're gonna end up.
He's gonna die eventually.
Yeah, inshallah.
Justice will be served.
For sure.
Kelly.
We're gonna get qisas from this guy for sure. Huh? Qisas? Anybody know Arabic? Yeah. So sonically, it was a power metal song, and lyrically, it was fantasy and all this jazz. What do you give the song?
It was like a 7.5, 8 for me.
Okay, I agree with you, but it's gonna get an extra half a point to me because of the complexity of what these guys are trying to accomplish, the ambition.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, if you're trying to do one of those triple, you know, jumps over there that you do in skating, figure skating.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The triple something? Anyway. Christy Yamaguchi used to do that stuff, and I was like, oh my god, Christy Yamaguchi! What?
Triple axel?
Yeah, the triple axel, there it is. So if you try to do a triple axel and you land it, then you're going to get a higher score than if you just do a single axel and you land it.
Yep.
So you're going to get an 8.5 from me. What is it for you?
8 for me.
Alright, thank you very much. Good band. Good band. I'm sure these guys probably translated this into a book as well.
It had to. I wish I knew if it was on that shelf. I'm pretty sure.
I
need to alphabetize it.
Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.